Alright, so this past weekend we had the re-release of Spider-Man Far From Home. It really doesn't change much. Alright, so I'm going to be reviewing both the original cut and the extended cut of Far From Home. First, I'm going to start off with the original cut because I don't think that the extended cut added that much to it, but I still enjoyed it to an extent. So I'm just going to go ahead and gonna start talking about the original cut that was released back in July. Far From Home is the sequel to Homecoming, and we follow our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man after the events of Avengers Endgame. He's dealing with the fact that Tony's gone and everything after the snap, and he just wants to go on his trip and confess his love for MJ. And while he's doing that, Nick Fury hijacks his vacation and decides to bring him on a mission with his new friend Mysterio. Now, one thing that I love about this movie is the fact that we got to see a little bit about what happened when the snap happened in Infinity War, and we see what Peter deals with the fact that Tony died sacrificing himself for everybody. And I love the fact that we explored that a little bit. I think the relationship between MJ and Peter works in this movie more efficiently than I thought it would. And I also like the way that we had a couple scenes between Betty and Ned, and that chemistry between them worked a lot in this film. I think the action sequences in this movie is dumbed down a little bit. I think the action sequences in Homecoming are a little bit more better and used well. I think the climactic battle in this movie is great, and a lot is said about the post-credit scenes, which a lot of people think is the best part of the movie, but I think there's some enjoyable moments in this film. There's a lot of great comedic moments in this movie, especially when it comes down to Martin Starr, and I think every time that he had a line, he delivered it well. I think Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was amazing, and I like what they did with Nick Fury and Maria Hill in this film. I think some of the things that this film lacked is a little bit of the charm that the first movie had. I think the scene between Happy and Peter towards the end of the film was great and emotional, and it does rely a lot on the fact that they want Peter to be Iron Man Jr. in this film. It's not a huge issue for me. I just think that they could have toned it down a little bit in this film. I think one or two moments would have been fine, but it's constantly throughout the film, and that does bug me a little bit. And since I'm reviewing this after the whole Spider-Man and the whole Disney and Sony debacle, I'm really excited to see what to do with Spider-Man outside of the MCU. A lot of people are worried about what Sony's going to do with Spider-Man, but I think it can work to a social extent. But other than that, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great action sequences, and the comedic moments in this movie is great. I had a wonderful time watching this movie, and I can't wait to see what to do with Spider-Man moving forward. As for the extended cut, I'm not gonna rate that because I don't think that it's pretty much the same movie. It doesn't change a lot for me. Usually, sometimes when I see director's cut, they work for me sometimes. For this movie in particular, it doesn't add anything. There's just a couple short scenes, one with Peter and his to-do list before his trip, and the other one is a scene with Mysterio that was added later on in the film that I didn't think changed the narrative of the movie, but I think it was fine for what it was. Sometimes if you forget about the movie, it really doesn't. It feels natural and it just flows a little bit. But overall, the original cut is better. The extended cut is alright at best. But yeah, those are my 2 cents on Spider-Man Far From Home, the original cut and the director cut. And for now, I'm going to go ahead and give Spider-Man Far From Home an 8 out of 10. That rating was just for the original cut. I decided not to rate the extended cut because they're both basically the same films, and I actually just enjoyed both of them all the same. So yeah, those are my 2 cents on the extended cut and the original cut. Did you see both of them? What did you think? Which one did you prefer? Are you excited to see Spider-Man outside of the MCU? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments what you think of it. And I'm going to be having a couple more reviews. I've thought about it. I'm thinking about doing a review on the Sticks and Stones Dave Chappelle special. So that's coming forward. Also this weekend, after my review for It Chapter 2, I'm going to go ahead and review the It miniseries, so go ahead and look forward to that. If you like this video and you haven't seen my other reviews, go ahead and check them out. And if you like this, go ahead and like and subscribe and let your friends know and let everybody you know. And until next time, this is Josie's Reviews.